It's a bloody cold one this morning, folks. Today there's a massive upgrade going into this van and I can't wait to show you. When I say a massive upgrade, it's just unreal. I'm just going to be going off-grid longer. So without further ado, let's get on with it. It is 2 degrees out here this morning. It obviously got colder in the night because there's ice everywhere on the cars and that, but I think it's starting to warm up a little bit. But let's get my brew finished and I'm going to show you what's going in the van. And this is what's going in today. This is the Titan lithium battery, 300 amp hour, 3,840 watt hours. If we look at the battery I've got in at the minute, it's only 2,560. I'll let you do the maths, but this is going to be a bigger unit. All your specifications are down here for the battery, but there is also something else with this battery as well. It's heated. So for those of you that are a little bit clued up with lithium, lithium does not like to be charged in these very cold temperatures. So if I'm out on a winter camp and I need the battery charging, it ain't gonna charge if it's below that threshold, which is around 0 degrees. But as you can see here, it's Bluetooth and it's got a built-in heater with it. So what that means is, inside here, it's got that built-in heater. So when I do want to charge in those sub-zero temperatures, or close to sub-zero temperatures, the battery is going to accept the charge because there's a heater in there and it's going to allow that charge to go through and charge up inside. Genius. A heated battery. Brilliant. Some of you have probably seen by the name as well, Titan. And in my previous van, my Vivaro, I worked with Titan previously. I had the 150 amp hour lithium leisure battery in there, which, to be fair, that was a very good battery. It was small, it was compact, it fitted pretty much as a standard replacement lead acid battery anywhere, and I was never out of power with that. Because there's a lot more going on in this van, I think it was only fair to get the big boy installed. So if you're not familiar with Titan, they've been around for about 70 odd years, and it just goes to show that being around that long, they've obviously got a trusted name for themselves. And without further ado, let's get this battery installed, and I'll give you a little bit more on why I opted for this sized battery a little bit later on in the video. For now, I need to get it installed and I need to get this one out. It's all go this morning because there's more upgrades I need to show you. Yeah, this is one thing I want to show you quick. Looking at the size comparison between them both, I've pretty much got them edged up the same here. And the Titan lithium is a tiny, and I mean a fraction, little bit smaller. But what that means for me is I'm not going to be losing any more space and I'm getting more power. And it's approximately 1,280 whatever watt hours of power, which is unreal. I've just got to get up top, I've just got to disconnect the solar panel, get the battery transferred over, get it secure. You don't need to see that. And there we have it, she is in. That is going to offer so much more power. You can have the diesel heater on flat out in the winter, have the fridge going to whatever, have the lights on. It ain't going to run out basically. But just give you a quick rundown about the specs of this battery, and also, if you're thinking of skipping this part of the video, don't. Reason for that is because Titan do various amounts of batteries. They do entry levels going up to a 460 amp hour. So fingers crossed, if I've managed to edit and do this right, you should see on screen now the different variations of batteries that they do. So the one in the previous van I had, which was 150 amp hour leisure battery, what they've actually done with that now is they've actually upgraded the battery management system, and it now goes up to 200 amps. The reason they've done that though is for a better performance out of the battery. I mean, if you're in the market for a battery, yes, lead acid is cheaper, but as we know, you can't let them run past 50% capacity, otherwise it starts causing havoc inside. And I've worked with Titan previously in the Vivaro, as I mentioned earlier, and I must say I had no issues with that battery whatsoever, and I'm very confident In fact, I'm 100% confident I am never going to have any issues with this battery, especially with the capacity that it is. So massive thanks to Titan for sponsoring today's video. This battery upgrade is going to be awesome for me. I can even start using now an inverter, and I can start cooking using my induction hob, which you've seen in previous videos. Links in the description. There'll be links to Instagram, there'll be links to their website. Go and follow them. Go and check out their range of batteries they've got. Do your homework and make sure that you do purchase the one that is right for you and will accommodate your needs. And that aside, let's move on to this next massive upgrade that I'm going to be fitting just in here. And yeah, this is going to get tidied up this weekend as well. And this is my next upgrade. This is the Blue Smart charger. I've only gone for the 15 amp charger. Don't want to go for the 30 because I've heard that they get extremely hot. So I opted for the 15 amp one, which I will expect to get hot anyway, but not to the extent of the 31. So let's get that installed up there. So there we go, I've managed to get that mounted. The only thing I'm on with doing now is I just need to take that off, which you just pull off. You can see the connection points under there, so it's got 3 positives and 1 negative. So if you wanted to use that to charge other batteries, you could use a bus bar. I've only got the one. What I'm on with now is the electrical side of it. So I'm using these little things. I'll just show you quick. So these things are called ferrule bootlaces. They do look like what you put on the end of your laces for your shoes. I'm sure they're called ferrule. In previous videos you would have heard me call them ferrule. But all they do, instead of that being shoved, so instead of that being shoved up there, which I don't like doing, I'd much rather make a better job of it and do it this way. So by doing it this way, you just pop that in the end, push it down, and then you will have to get one of these tools. And all that's going to do is you just put it through the middle and crimp. And you can see that that's got it. So the next part I'm making the wiring, this is what I've done now. So you've seen the ferrule bootlace on. So we come along, I've now put a 20 amp fuse in with this. Even though the Victron unit is 15 amp max, you'd never put a 15 amp one in. You always add 10% onto it. So the next one up for me as a strip fuse would be 20 amp. Now that that's all complete, the wires are routed, they just need neating up along with everything else here. Right, it's time for me to test it. That's a job well done. It's working. I've just configured all the parameters. I'll put a little screenshot on now just so you guys can see how I know it's working. So another good thing about this battery, as it's Bluetooth enabled, you can actually check state of charge, you can check capacity, you can check what the output current is, you can check what input current is. So you're probably wondering, what am I powering off? Well, that little gadget there is only pretty much really if I'm at a campsite and I need that battery charging. So what I've done now is I've just pretty much gone for electric hook up into the van, and then if we run round here quick, I have put it into here. That's another job done. Right, my next job, I don't know if that's going to be in this video though. Diesel heater issues. When I say diesel heater issues, it's not what you're thinking. It is working. But as you can see, I've only got the one pipe that's going to be going out into the cab area. And just following on from that bit of a video, one problem I had with the van was I was only getting heat into the front of the cab here. So what I've decided to do, and when I'm only getting heat there, I normally have the max air fan open and have 2 windows, or the side windows at the front, cracked open slightly. So when I'm in bed, I wasn't getting much heat towards the back of the van, it was only going over to the front. So because the diesel heater I've put in the back of the van, this is what I've done. I've actually made this little box here, and I've put the air vent, or sorry, I've put another air vent in there. So where the pipe comes out there, just in the inside where you can't see, there's a T-piece. So I've still got air coming to the front of the cab, and also I'm going to have air coming up the back side of the bed here, so it's going to keep in this part nice and warm during the night, or whenever I've got the diesel heater on. So all I did was just make that out of a couple of 12mm pieces of ply, and also a couple of 9mm bit of ply just for the top piece here. Now you're probably going to look at that and think, mate, that is like really gash. That is the worst job you could have ever done. The reason there is gaps there is because I've made it like that. And the reason I made it like that is because all of the heat from the pipes and the diesel heater, it's still going to need cooling down slightly. So as you can see, I've left a gap here and I've left a gap down the side there. That's just for heat to escape and still allow air to come in, and at least sort of keep inside here a little bit cool. So there is a reason for that. And because before that was there, it was just a diesel heater and a load of pipe work, which made storing stuff a little bit difficult. And it reduced the space of the garage quite a bit. So by me fitting that, I can now put boxes on top of there. It's really sturdy, it's really good, and it does hold quite a bit of weight on there. So that's another upgrade I've done. I carpeted it yesterday when it came. Little bit disappointed, it's not the same shade as the silver grey that I've put on the sides, but I'm happy with it. It's come out rather good. So it's given me extra storage space, it's not dead space, and I've also got a secondary, I've also got an additional vent of heat just to warm the back up. I'll give that a go tonight, see how I get on. But anyway, if you've enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up, it does help me out, and I'll see you guys in next week's video. Stay chirpy.